My name is Sirohi Kumar, and I'm a senior at MDI High School. Thank you all for the opportunity to speak today and for coming out to bring attention to today's topic. What I wanted to talk to you all about is the short-term rage cycle. I'm going to name a series of events, and I want to see if you recognize anything that I'm describing. One day, you wake up and check the news. There's a headline stating that one of your rights is being infringed upon by some new bill or Supreme Court ruling or federal agency or tweet. You call up your friends in a rage and you come here to the Village Green to protest. You hear several speakers feel full of energy, like something could really happen to fix this problem. And then you go home. For the next few days or weeks, you're really engaged in this topic, talking, texting, posting all about it, until one day you stop thinking about it. Your mind touches on it, and you see it mentioned in the news every once in a while, but you don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. Until someday, in a month or a year, when you realize that right is being threatened again. When you hear that scenario, what do you think of? Climate change? Reproductive rights, racial justice, the rights of gay and trans people. If we all see and care about so many issues, how could we be making so little progress? How can we be backsliding like this? Because of the short-term rage cycle. Because we only show up to issues we care about when we are being directly threatened by them. The fight to strip us of our bodily autonomy is nothing new. It has been waged over the last 50 years in Supreme Court appointments, in lower court rulings, and in state legislatures across the country. But we don't show up and make a fuss unless we personally are sufficiently threatened. If we all identify with the short-term rage cycle and see it being echoed across these seemingly disparate issues, how long will we have to wait until we are right back here? Even if abortion rights are protected today, what's to stop a state government from impugning on those same rights tomorrow? In my opinion, ending up back here is inevitable. As long as those who benefit from the subjugation of others are in power, we will never see true equality. Let me say that again. As long as those who benefit from the subjugation of others are in power, we will never see true equality. Gathering here is useless if we cannot take a step further and change the systems that put those people in power in the first place. But systems aren't just individuals. They're living and growing and evolving and resistant to change. They are near unbreachable, even more so as an ordinary citizen. In fact, the amount of work that's necessary to do so is so overwhelming that sometimes I'm completely hopeless. What is the point in spending a morning getting mad about an issue that we, in all likelihood, are going to forget about in a couple of days? Meanwhile, the system will turn on and on and on, and those without the voice or social currency to speak for themselves will remain crushed underneath it. But I've realized I am sick of the short-term rage cycle, and I'm sick of rage. I am sick of being a dog, of seeing a headline, perking up at a topic for the requisite number of days before I just move on to the next issue waved under my nose. I have been attending protests since I was in a stroller, and I see kids here who are younger than I was. Wondering if they may be fighting for the same rights in 20 years makes me sick all over again. I want to do something else, something that will work, something that won't land us right back here at square one. Our current patterns of behavior, these flares of anger and action, are not enough. Today, we show up. Tomorrow, we need to break the cycle. Stop this from ever happening again. I am personally asking each and every one of you to go out there and do something to change real minds. Instead of just complaining to our inner circles about the next piece of legislation that gets passed further restricting our rights, move outward. There is a tremendous power in this community, in our personal connections that we need to be utilizing. Talk to your neighbors who you know don't share your political views. Ask them who they voted for, why they voted for them, hell, if they voted at all. Communicate to them what you care about. Have a conversation and try to change their minds. Breaking the short-term rage cycle looks like talking with those voices who disagree with us, not just ignoring them. Those conversations are what will make this issue different from all the others, what will make our next elections and protests different from the last. It is only through human connection, conversation, and with each other that we will break through this endless cycle of anger and stagnation. Thank you.